that defined communications for a century. That, however, is a backward-facing milestone. The coronavirus pandemic will usher in other permanent changes to our relationship with cell phones. Millions of people, for example, are learning how easy it is to make a video call on their cell phone. Grandparents are using the House Party app to hang out and play games with the grandchildren they can't hug. Friends are using FaceTime and Skype to host virtual happy hours with each other. Employers who previously shunned remote work tools are finding that Zoom and Teams will become essential to future operations. Privacy concerns are bowing to the need to engage in contact tracing in order to contain the virus. East Asian countries have been ahead of the West in using cell phones to monitor movement and interaction. Just before I wrote this, though, Apple and Google announced their collaboration to develop contact tracing software. By the time you read this, your cell phone may already be able to tell you if you've been exposed to someone with COVID-19. You can be sure that this type of development, even if announced to be temporary or confined just to coronavirus, will presage more permanent changes. A toe will have been inserted into the privacy door that is unlikely to ever be removed. The pandemic will also accelerate the use of cell phones in healthcare. Telemedicine visits boomed during the crisis, with many of those calls taken on phones. Cell phones will also become a more widespread and accepted way to monitor vital signs and potential disease symptoms. Schools of all types, as well as other organizations, are gaining extended experience with operating at a distance. Online and distance learning have been steadily gaining steam for several years. The pandemic turbocharges this. It remains to be seen, at the time of this writing, whether parents and students will feel comfortable with on-campus living and learning. The concentrated experience of the pandemic will accelerate improvements in remote classes, virtual conferences, and more. Everyone is learning how to make them work better, and quality is undoubtedly already increasing. We will also see permanent shifts in exchanges of different kinds. Physical business cards will disappear, replaced by virtual exchange through near-field communication between phones. A cashless society will also become reality. Physical currency has long been known to be a transmission source for bacteria and viruses. How many people will voluntarily choose to pay with a $20 bill, and how many merchants will prefer cash over the credit card stored in their phone that they can simply wave in front of a scanner? More fundamentally, the coronavirus pandemic and resulting social changes highlight two observations that I will make repeatedly throughout this book. First, people are mobile. Second, people connect with people, not places. To me, these are as basic to human existence as our physical needs. The lockdowns and social distancing brought on by the virus reinforced their truth. In the first instance, by restricting the very mobility we all take for granted, and in the second, by reminding us all that we need each other. And if we can't sit next to one another, a phone call is the next best thing. Introduction. The crash of lightning broke my reverie. It's April 3rd, 2013, 40 years to the day since I made the first public cell phone call on a New York City street. I am sitting in a rickety old chair at an equally worn desk, staring out the window at an unremarkable hill. In my imagination, I chat with Guglielmo Marconi 120 years ago as I sit in his chair, in his laboratory, preserved in a small town just southwest of Bologna, Italy. I ask, Signor Marconi, whatever gave you the idea that you could send a radio signal from this room to the other side of Celestini Hill? You see, the chair, the window, and the hill are more remarkable